Welcome to today's Tea Time audio story. It's time to slow down, take a deep breath, and enjoy a moment just for you. As you sip your favorite tea, let your mind drift into the world of stories, where imagination comes alive and anything is possible. Listening to audio stories isn't just entertaining, it's also a wonderful way to relax, spark creativity, and improve your English in a natural and enjoyable way. Stories have the power to transport us to far-off places, introduce us to new characters, and remind us of life's little lessons. So whether you're here to unwind, learn something new, or simply enjoy a quiet escape, this is your time. Get comfortable, let your worries melt away, and allow today's story to take you on a journey. Let the magic begin. Started with the little things. A passing smile from someone who had never acknowledged her before. A door held open a second longer than it needed to be. Compliments that sounded innocent but left Liana's skin prickling with unease. "You look amazing lately. Wow, you've really changed. You're glowing. What's your secret?" They were the kinds of words she had longed to hear for so long, the validation she'd once craved. And yet, when they came, they didn't feel like victories. They felt strange, heavy, conditional. Because they weren't words she would have heard months ago. They weren't words given to the version of Liana who had struggled, who had fought silently, who had been ignored and dismissed. They were words for someone else. For the Liana who was changing, who was thinner, who was, suddenly, worth noticing. And it hurt more than she wanted to admit. She saw it at school first. The girls who had once turned away now offered hesitant smiles. Some even tried to start conversations. Boys who had never known her name now greeted her in passing. Jason was one of them. He had always been nice in their awkward, forced interactions, but now there was something more. A brightness to his eyes when he saw her. A friendliness that hadn't been there before. And it left Liana wondering, was it real? Or was it just the weight loss? She caught her reflection in the cafeteria window, studying the curves that had softened, the way her clothes hung differently. Was it the new Liana they liked? Or was it the same girl they'd overlooked, only now she took up less space? The question burned in her chest. The hardest part was realizing how easily she could fall into it. How good the attention felt, even when it felt wrong. The compliments warmed her, even as they stung. The conversations left her smiling, even when they left her hollow. Because she wanted to believe it was genuine. She wanted to believe that this was who she had been all along, only now others could see it. But doubt lingered. Heavy. Unshakable. Therapy sessions with Claire became harder, filled with questions Liana didn't know how to answer. "How does it feel, getting more attention?" Claire asked one afternoon, her voice calm and patient. Liana hesitated. "It feels good. And bad. Like it shouldn't matter, but it does. Like I should be happy, but it just makes me wonder why it took this long." Claire nodded. "It's okay to feel conflicted. You've been living in a world that treats people differently based on appearance. That's not fair, and it's painful. It's okay to question it. But what if they're only seeing me because I'm smaller? What if they don't really know me at all?" "That's a valid fear," Claire said softly. "And it's one we can explore together. But remember, you know who you are. You know the strength it took to get here. And that's what matters most." Liana wanted to believe that. She wanted to believe that her value wasn't tied to how she looked, but it was hard to ignore how the world seemed to notice her now, when it hadn't before. The gym was no better. New people started talking to her. People who had once overlooked her, now offering friendly smiles and casual compliments. "You're looking strong," one man said, nodding in approval as she wiped sweat from her forehead. "Keep it up." Leanna managed to smile, but her stomach churned. Would he have noticed her 6 months ago? Would he have said a word? Even Ava, her trainer, seemed to be more with every pound loss, though her encouragement had always been steady. "You're incredible, Leanna. You're really becoming someone to watch." Leanna swallowed the bitterness. She didn't want to be someone to watch. She just wanted to be someone. At home, her mother's compliments were more frequent too. Soft, but loaded. "You look beautiful lately. So healthy. I'm so proud of you." Leanna smiled, but the words pressed heavy against her heart. She wanted to be proud too, but a question lingered behind every kind word. Was she only beautiful now? Only healthy now? Only worthy now? And what did that say about who she had been before? She began to notice how her relationships shifted, how people drew closer, how they lingered in conversation, how they asked her more questions, laughed louder at her jokes. And it scared her, because it felt conditional, like her worth was hanging by a thread, woven from every pound lost, every inch shed. Would they still like her if she gained it all back? Would they still see her if she wasn't changing? The fear sat heavy, an invisible weight she couldn't shed. One night, she wrote in her journal, pouring her confusion onto the page. "I hate that I care. I hate that I want the attention, even though I know it's not real. I hate that I feel better when they notice me. But I also hate how invisible I felt before. And I don't know which is worse." The words sat heavy on the page, but writing them helped. A little. Claire helped, too. "You're allowed to enjoy being noticed," she said gently. "You're allowed to feel good about it. That doesn't make you shallow. That makes you human. But it's also okay to question it. To protect your heart. To be careful with who you trust. But how do I know who really sees me?" Claire smiled sadly. "Give it time. Let their actions show you. Let their words show you. And trust yourself. You'll know." Leanna took those words to heart. She watched. She waited. She listened. She paid attention to who cared about her beyond the scale, beyond her size. Who asked about her heart, her dreams, her fears. Who stayed on the hard days, not just the easy ones. And she learned to value those people. The ones who had been there all along. The ones who saw her, really saw her, before the world decided she was worth seeing. Those were the people who mattered. And little by little, she began to believe that she mattered, too. Not because of who noticed her, but because of who she was, when no one was watching. Thank you for joining today's Tea Time story. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of imagination and storytelling. Whether it made you smile, sparked a new thought, or simply gave you a moment to relax, we're grateful to have shared this time with you. Thank you for listening and being part of our story time. Keep dreaming, keep imagining, and we'll see you again for another magical tale soon. Until next time, take care and happy listening.